Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, you are welcome, and to my returning subscribers, thank you so much. So in today's tutorial, we'll be making this Abada Bubu short gown with side pockets, and this is going to be the easiest tutorial you're going to be seeing today. So if you are ready, let's get into the video. For this tutorial, I'll be making use of 2 and some inches. It's not up to half yard. Is 2 and some inches of Ankara print. I have already cut out my 2 yards for this project, and I'll be using the remaining for the side pocket and the turning of the neckline. I don't want to have any joining at the shoulder area, so I'll be folding my fabric like so. I have gone ahead to fold it into 2, and from this other side I will fold it again, making it 4 pieces. As we can see, we have 4 pieces, and this is for front and back piece. We will not be having any joining at the shoulder because of the way we folded it. So for the neck width of this gown, I'll be using 3 inches, and for the neck length, I'll be using 1.5 inches. I'll go ahead now and connect my lines like so. So for the length of this sleeve, I'll be using the whole of this Ankara, like the width of this Ankara. I'll be using the width of this my Ankara for the length of my sleeve. But if you don't want it to be long, because the length of this my sleeve right now is 23 inches, so if you don't want it to be that long, just measure your shoulder length, and from that your shoulder length, you can now measure the length that you want for your sleeve. So you can just go ahead and place your tape at this pointy part of your fabric and measure your shoulder length, and from that your shoulder length, you can now measure the length of the sleeve that you want. For the armhole, I'm placing my tape at the starting line, and I'm marking 10.5 inches. I want this armhole to be very free, so whatever your armhole is, like your normal armhole is, you're going to add 1.5 inch or 2 inches, because this gown is supposed to be a very free gown. So from the 10 inches that I marked, I'm going to be coming in by 1 inch, and I'll be connecting it like so. I will connect it all the way down. I will go ahead now to mark the length of my gown, and the length of this gown is going to be 35 inches. So, and I'll be adding 1 inch for the folding. So I'm marking 26 inches. After cutting it out, this is what we have. I'll go ahead now to work on the neck part. After cutting out my neckline, I'll go ahead now to open it up, and as we can see, we will not be having any joining. There will be no need for any joining at this shoulder area. I'll go ahead now to mark out where my pocket will be, and I will measure 17 inches and mark it out, and I'll go ahead and notch it like so. After marking out where I will place my pockets, I'll go ahead as well to open up my fabric like so, and I'll be working on the neckline of the front piece. I'll be coming down by 1 inch for my front neck length. So that is to say that I came down by 2.5 inches for my front length and 1.5 for my back length. I'll go ahead now to connect my lines. When cutting this out, I will raise my front piece, and at this point you have to be very careful so that you will not cut the boats. So I will raise my front and I will carefully cut it out. After cutting it out, this is what it's looking like, and as you can see, the front is now deeper than the back neckline. I'll go ahead now to slit up the front piece just like we see it on the thumbnail. So I'm going ahead right now to take the measurements I will be needing for this front. The length that I want for this my slit is 7 inches, so it depends on what you want. If you want it deeper, you can go down by 8 inches or 9 inches. It depends on what you want, but for this my own gown, I'll be making use of 7 inches. I've gone ahead to mark my 7 inches to meet up with my neck length, and I am doing this just to have a clear view of what I am doing, so as not to make any mistake. So I'll go ahead now to slit it open, and make sure you are holding just the front piece. After opening up the front neckline, this is what I have. So I'll go ahead now to cut out the facing for the front and the back. I'm placing my dress on top of these pieces, and I'll be marking it out, like I'll be tracing out the neckline just like you see me doing. So when I get to this front part, I'm going to raise one of the piece up, and I will mark my line down to where my slit stop. After marking this out, this is what I have. I'm going ahead now to mark 2 inches round, but you can do 2.5 inches is very okay, but my fabric was not enough, so I'm going with 2 inches. So but 2.5 inches is preferable. This is what I have after marking it out, so I'm going ahead now to cut it out. After cutting it out, I'll go ahead now to open up the center, just like you see me doing. This is what the facing is looking like right now. So we cut the front and the back together, just like we did on the main fabric. So I'm going ahead now to place my facing on my dress, and I'll be placing it front side facing front, and I will sew it round. After I'm done sewing it, this is what I have. I'll go ahead now to notch it round so that it will relax very easily. So I'll go ahead now to turn it over to the right side, and I'll be doing this round the neckline. I'll also go ahead to bring out the pointy parts on the front neckline. I'll use my scissors to bring out the pointy parts. You can use your scissors or use anything that can help you to bring out the pointy parts of your front neckline. I'll also be using my hemming gum to lay down these parts so that it will look very neat even in the inside, also so that it will not be popping out when you wear it. This is what I have after ironing it out, and as you can see, it's looking very neat. So I'll go ahead now to work on my pocket. I have my fabric folded into 4, and this is the fabric that is remaining. It's very small, so I'm going ahead to try as much as possible to manage it. It's going to be kind of a very small pocket, but we can just work on it. So I'll place my hand on my fabric like this and trace out my hand just like you see me doing. And when doing this, you're going to add some inches round just like you see me doing. After that, I'll go ahead and cut it out. As you can see, I have 4 pieces for my pockets. I'll go ahead now and place my pockets on the notched area. You remember we notched 17 inches for our pocket, so I'm going ahead now to pin it down, and I'll be placing it front side facing front, and I'm going to sew it down. After sewing my pockets down on the both sides, both for the front and the back, I'll go ahead now to close it up just like you see me doing. And I'll be closing it up by 1 inch. So when sewing up this side, when you reach to your pocket area, you're going to align it, and of course we're going to trim off this excess, and we will continue to stitch it all the way down. I'll also be folding up this sleeve area, and I'll be folding it double. Like I will fold it once and I will fold it again, and I will sew it round. And after that, I'll go ahead to fold up my down parts, and I'll be folding it with 1 inch. We are almost done with this video, so please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit on that subscribe button. After stitching this down, I'll come back and show you guys what I have. I am done sewing this down, and this is what the sleeve side is looking like. I have also gone ahead to notch the armhole area so that it will lay down flat. And also I have folded my down part, and this is the finished look. This will be the end of today's video, so please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead now and hit on that subscribe button, and of course I will see you again in my next video. Bye.